Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here, back with another franchise ranking. Now, we've already taken on Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street, and the Scream franchises here on the channel. You can go ahead and check out the playlist card right there. But this time around, we're tackling one of my favorite franchises in all of horror. Guys, we're going to be looking at The Evil Dead. Real quick before we get going, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let me know your ranking of the Evil Dead films. Tell me where I'm right. Tell me where I'm wrong. I love getting that conversation going with you guys. And as just an added disclaimer here, I think this is one of the strongest franchises in all of horror, but someone's got to come in last. It doesn't mean I think the movie's a bad movie. Let's just have a little fun with it and jump right in. Coming in at number 5 is Evil Dead Rise from 2023. Now, admittedly, I was super pumped on this movie, very hyped. I thought it was going to exceed all expectations. Once I saw the trailer, I figured, man, if the trailer's that hardcore, then just wait until we see what's in the actual movie. However, when I sat down and watched the film for the first time, and even on the second and third time watching it, it just didn't really push the envelope any further, which is what I come to expect from the Evil Dead franchise. You know, the biggest moments in that trailer were the biggest moments in the film. At least that's how I felt. And especially after the 2013 Evil Dead film pushed things really far. And then even the Ash vs. Evil Dead show really took things in a wild direction. Actually, a couple wild directions. I just felt like Evil Dead Rise played it a little safe. It's got great performances. I do like the story. I love how it blends into this bigger world, and now we find out that there's 3 volumes of the book that all exist in the same universe. I think all of that lore is great. But ultimately, it just let me down because it didn't push the gore and all the body horror far enough for me. And chainsawing its way in at number 4 is Army of Darkness from 1992. And I don't think it's that big of a shocker to put this one towards the back of the ranking. You know, maybe if it were your first Evil Dead film, I could see it taking up that first or second spot. Me, I'm the kind of guy that really prefers the more serious side of the Evil Dead, which I know is kind of silly to say because a lot of these movies are pretty bonkers in general, but I do enjoy plenty of what Army of Darkness has to offer. I love the portrayal of Ash. I think Bruce Campbell is amazing here. I have a lot of fun with this movie. It's very quotable. It's the perfect Evil Dead film as like a gateway horror kind of film, and a hell of a lot of fun, but yep. Number 4, there it is. Cracking in at number 3 in this 5-film franchise, we've got Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn from 1987. And let the controversy begin. Grab your torches and pitchforks, string me up, I totally get it, but I do want to let you know that when I originally got into this franchise, this was my favorite. This movie is so much fun. They expand the lore. Ash is so much more of a character, whereas in the first film, he's just sort of a guy. I love all the moments that Bruce spends alone after Linda dies, just really losing his mind. And then, of course, we see the film bleed into what would become Army of Darkness. So I have a lot of fun with this one. I think it's the perfect Evil Dead film to gather your friends, crack a couple drinks, maybe have a little something to smoke. I ain't gonna make you, but it might make it a bit more fun. And really enjoy something that's the perfect blend between the original Evil Dead film and a Three Stooges short. Oh, I can sense people getting nervous out there. How are these last two gonna shake out? What's he gonna pick? Well, the number 2 spot goes to Evil Dead from 2013. Now, a lot of people say that this film is a remake, but it's not. It might have been marketed like that when they originally put it out, but we do see Ash's car covered by all the trees and everything like that. And then in Evil Dead Rise, they tell us that there are 3 volumes of the book within this same universe. So this is just another movie that happens to be called Evil Dead. Not a remake, just a sequel. And man, oh man, is it a sequel. Fede Alvarez knocked it out of the park here. I love that it feels so much like the original for obvious reasons that you'll find out relatively soon. But man, the performances are absolutely incredible here. Jane Levy is really on her mark. The practical effects are amazing. The use of sound design and music, that siren that gets going whenever the shit hits the fan. This movie just pushes things to the brink. It takes chances, and it really has the true spirit of Evil Dead. And I hope that the newer movies in this franchise take a little something from this film as far as, you know, don't just walk up to the edge of the cliff, jump all the way in, dive into that chasm, let's get bloody, let's have a hell of a time with it. Oh, 2013's Evil Dead, so damn good. And by the process of elimination, I'm sure you've all figured out that the #1 spot goes to The Evil Dead from 1981. Now, I know this isn't everyone's choice for their favorite in the franchise. A lot of folks would probably pick something a bit more fun, but to me, the more and more I revisit these movies, the more I love that original film. It is just so punk rock. And you might ask yourself, how can a film be punk rock? Well, you make it with hardly any budget, you do it yourself. When people come and go or can't stay for the entire time, you find a way to have stand-ins, you make it all work. This is a really small, tight crew that made this film. They didn't even make sets most of the time. They just shot where they could shoot, and that's that. Yeah, this one has grit. It has balls. It has everything that I want from an old school horror movie. Every time I go back to it, I have an absolute blast. This one is easily my favorite in the franchise. It's not even really that close, but man, oh man, I'm so excited to see where this franchise can go. I'm so happy that the same producers that created the story and the characters, the IP and everything still have control of it all these years later, and they're handpicking people that they want to have expand on their lore. So there it is, guys, and I know there's not many movies in this franchise, but it's near and dear to my heart, so I really wanted to rank these for y'all. And yeah, like I said before, I'm looking forward to seeing where this thing goes, and you know, after we get the next few films, we'll have to put together another ranking and see if anything shifted. I'm a big re-watcher of films, so I'm kind of curious to see if that ranking gets shook up at all. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Let me know your ranking of the Evil Dead franchise, and more importantly, let me know why. I'm always fascinated to know why people put movies in the specific rankings that they choose, so drop it on into the comments below. And until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.